Hey there, it's Glad GHOUL Toys, and here we are, our last little video. Hey, where'd the toys go? Well, I've popped them out already. Okay, so if you recall from the other videos, these are our little molds that we made, popped out the originals, and then I poured in resin. Resin went in the pressure pot, and then the resin cured, and I popped out the figures. And just so you see here, remember I talked about not too many cuts, so here's just one cut down the side of the molds. And I got away with that and was able to get the figures out just with one cut, so that's a good thing. They all came out nice. I'm going to show you them in just a minute. But I want to talk a little bit too about finishing off things. So after your cast comes out, you may need to trim off a bit of flashing, it's called, to just sort of tidy things up. And then you're maybe going to need to do this too. So this is just very, very, very smooth sandpaper. I think it's like 400, 600, 800 grit. Higher the number, the smoother it is. And you can also wet this, and when it's wet, it makes it even more gentle on the toy. You don't want to take off huge chunks of the toy. You're just touching it a little bit just to take off little spots. I also use these, which are boards that I've put different kinds of sandpaper on, and I'll take the figure sometimes and rub it on the base in order to get the base nice and flat so it'll stand up nice. That's another little trick for you. It's always nice when the toy stands up. Okay, here's the big reveal. You ready for this? Here are the toys. You remember I did some in blue, and I did some in a really bright, vivid orange. So check this out. They came out real nice. I'll show them to you in detail. So here are the orange ones first. Oh, this guy is one of my favorites. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. This guy is one of my favorites. I think he's like a dog monster alien creature, and look, he reacts to UV light. Here's my little UV flashlight, like a black light flashlight. You can get one of these, and they're really fun to light up your characters if you use a tint that reacts with UV. So that's the other thing. Different kinds of plastics work in different ways. This plastic tints nicely for adding different colors, so you have to know what kind of plastic you're using. That's pretty cool. And then there's this one. And it's a great thing. Now you got the mold, you can make as many of these little creatures as you want. So these are not my designs. These are just really cool little toys, and I use them as examples. But if you then wanted to design and sculpt your own little character, then that's great. You could follow the same process of making the same kinds of molds. And there you go. Take a look at these guys here, these nice blue ones. Oh, those are cool. These are not UV reactive, but I'm gonna just hold this up nice and close. That guy's brains are hanging out, which sounds painful, but it's very cool. Look at his cool teeth. I love this guy. I love monsters, zombies. Very cool. That came out real nice. And then the last one I'll show you is this one. Remember, there was this anteater from way back when. This is the one that I sort of wanted to use all the way through all the process. So we had the original, then we made a mold of it, and then we cast in resin, and now we can make as many of these little toys as we want. Came out real nice. So that seam there is actually from the original toy. I can't see anything from my seam, from my mold, so that's pretty cool. And it sure kept the detail. Look at this beautiful blue pearlescent quality. That's from a mica or a mica paint, powder that I added. You can get all kinds of different things to add into your resin to get different effects, which is very cool. Anyways, I'm very happy with that. I hope you like all these guys. They're pretty cool. And now, you know, you can go off and make your own toys. Cool stuff. So I hope that helps. Last thing I got to tell you, I want you to go to Instagram, please. That's where I do stuff, and I post stuff, and I'd like you to follow me there. You can also, you know, like and subscribe, but please find me on Instagram. Also, there's lots of other toy artists that I like to showcase there, and you can find their stuff there too. I'm going to draw you a real quick little robot before we're finished for the dime today. And there's his antenna on top to receive all of his signals from the world, and there's his little feet. And he has no arms because he just doesn't. Nah, we better give him some little arms like that and a flower. All right, hope that helps. Have an awesome day. Go find me on Instagram, and see you later.